Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Wednesday, 17th of October 2018. So the pound moving high yesterday, but then coming off the highs, struggling with the 132.12 level there, and a bit of selling around as well. And this is no doubt due in part to this little hope or expectation of Brexit breakthrough as Theresa May heads off to Brussels. And so really this is what's going to dominate the news here. And well, see whether there's a deal or done or not. I mean, I always thought that when you left and they came to you looking for a deal, not the other way around. Otherwise you might as well stay, but maybe I'm looking at it too simplistically. Like I've said before, the EU is doomed anyway because of the amount of debt, the Italian banks, the Spanish bonds, Greece. So it's I don't know the whole thing. I don't do the political side of things. I'm not interested, but certainly interesting to see how it is playing out as far as trying to do a deal is concerned. But like I say, ultimately it's going to fall apart anyway, whether we're there or not, because of the colossal amount of debt. They're still printing 60 billion a month. I think they're dropping it at the end of this month to 30 billion a month, 20 trillion in debt, and they can't raise rates. So I would say that was a massive success economically. Bizarre. I said from day one that it would ultimately fail. You can't have a situation where you've got all of these individual countries and personalities, and they all produce different things, have different strengths. Germany, it's manufacturing. Greece, obviously, it's tourism, and then Spain. It just goes on. And then you try and overlay the same interest rate, the same inflation rate, and put them all under one umbrella when they've all got individual economies. It's just bizarre, absolutely bizarre. But there you go. Yeah, so the pound, well, watch out for news today, which could send it to the downside. Any sign of a no deal, definite no deal, will be the pound going to the downside. And they're just going to keep banging this back and forth, I think, until we get to March the 29th next year. So the pound moving higher initially. You can see this here coming off the DP level through the 200 bar moving average. Bit of a retracement, and then we're off up to the R2, where 95% of the time the market will bail out and stop, and that's exactly what it did there. If it goes to the R3, you can guarantee the market will more or less stop, trade sideways for the remainder of the session. In news today, we got the CPI for the UK today. That's being released from the Office for Lying Statistics, and PP input also out, no doubt manipulated, and RPI is also out as well, showing unchanged, and inflation looking like, or the CPI to be slightly lower there. Economics Summit, which we've just discussed, and we've got the FOMC meeting minutes at 7 p.m. as well, so keep an eye on those. Meanwhile, in the Dow, well, no surprise here either, is there? We came off the 200 bar moving average. We've been watching this closely. We drew in these yesterday, and the market sailed through them all. One problem though, they've done it on low volume, and yeah, let's see how it copes with the 50 bar moving average as it moves back to this level. And yesterday, you'll see there the market actually exploded out of the averages here in the pre-market session, came and sat on the 20 bar moving average, which is why it's important. That's why I said watch the pre-market session yesterday. The market sits on the R1 there, and then trades up to the R2, and then as soon as it gets to the R3, you can see the market trade sideways, because that's what happens when you get to the R3 levels. And overnight, we see we're still sideways really. We're at yesterday's close at the moment, and the market will probably wait for the FOMC minutes later this evening. Meanwhile, in Bitcoin, after Monday's bit of a blowout there to the upside, the market very, very quiet yesterday, and quiet at the moment. We could see prices moving back down for a retest of the 6,100 as well. Problems with Tether, problem with Bitfinex, I think it is. So yeah, probably some downside pressure to come in this market once that information is released. However, on the positive side for this market, Wall Street boys are still looking to get into cryptos. News announcement yesterday, so keep an eye on that as well. Going forward, see how that happens, probably towards the end of the year. So still consolidation phase really for this market. Okay, that will do it for this one. If there's anything to report, I will let you know. But other than that, as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.